let's create a responsive layout using media queries. So when I say responsive, I mean a layout that responds to some conditions, and browser width is a good condition for responsive design. And so I'm going to write some very simple CSS to create kind of a little bit of a boxy layout, and then we'll manipulate that with CSS and media queries specifically. Okay, so I'm going to start with add in some HTML elements. I'm going to use HTML5 elements, a main to kind of just wrap everything, and I'm going to use I don't know, some maybe article elements to create some boxes. And I'll put a little bit of content inside of each of those. Like so. And I might make a few of those, maybe 4. Alright, so there's my HTML. One main container that's wrapped around a bunch of other HTML elements. Let's get going on the CSS for mobile. So we'll target the main element, and maybe we'll just give it a border so that we can see it. And we'll give it a height of the whole viewport. So to do that, we can, instead of using pixels, we can use the VH viewport height increment. So that'll allow us to make a box that's the height of the entire browser. Let's style the articles. And we might just give them a color of, background color. And margins and padding. Just to space them out a little bit, and we might, given that we've got a dark background color, make the text white. So excellent. We've pretty much put together a kind of a mobile layout. So if we move our viewport over here, you could see that a logical way to arrange your content in a mobile situation is in a kind of vertical linear arrangement. So content stacked on top of each other so that you can scroll through that with your thumb easily. That's a kind of a usual mobile experience. But then when we drag that experience out for a desktop, that's maybe not the best way to arrange our content. We want to be more reading our content from left to right when we've got that kind of wider viewing experience. So we can alter that. We can alter that experience by using Flexbox, obviously. So we can change our those rows into columns using Flexbox, but we want to do that depending on the browser width and depending on whether or not we're looking at that content in a slim browser or whether it's a really wide browser. So let's add a media query to check for that. So we'll add media and we'll check for a minimum width. Of about 600 pixels. So our breakpoints could be, we could have multiple breakpoints for tablet and desktop, but I'm just going to have the single breakpoint for around about 600 pixels. Okay, so it's inside this media query where we can add Flexbox to our content to make it adjust. So let's target the main. If the browser width is a minimum of 600 pixels or more, our main style is going to change, and we're going to change the display property to flex, and that will be enough for us to change that content that's stacked on top of each other to columns. That's all we need to do. Go from stacked content to flexed content, all just with that one media query. We can space it out a bit better, I suppose, just to finish off, and we can probably do that by just adding a width to our article elements. And we've got 4 of them, so we'll split them into 25%, and that will spread that content out based on that percentage width. Okay, so there we go. We've put together a simple layout that responds to different browser widths. So content for mobile, content for desktop.